The unexpected change the evening had started calmly enough. Ryan loosened his tie as he walked into their bedroom, where Lila sat at her vanity, carefully applying her makeup. She was already dressed in a sleek black dress, her dark curls cascading over her shoulders. The wedding was in 2 days, and she had been buzzing with excitement for weeks. "Hey," he said softly, leaning against the doorframe. "We need to talk." She glanced at him through the mirror, her fingers pausing mid-stroke with her mascara. "What's wrong?" he exhaled, bracing himself. "The merger meeting got moved up. I have to fly out tomorrow morning. I won't be back until late Sunday." Her hand dropped to the table, the mascara wand clattering against the wood. "You're joking. I wish I was." He stepped closer, but she turned in her seat, her eyes flashing. "This wedding is everything to me, Ryan. Sophia's been through hell. And I'm her maid of honor. You can't just bail on me last minute. It's a $2 billion deal, Lila. I'm leading it. If I don't go, the entire thing could collapse. So what? Send someone else." She stood, her voice rising. "Do you know how humiliating it's going to be for me to show up alone?" He reached for her hand, but she jerked away. "I'll make it." "Up to you. The bonus from this deal will be huge. We can take that trip you've been wanting." "I don't care about the damn trip," she snapped, storming past him to the closet. "It's about being there for someone I love." He clenched his jaw. "In my career, your future doesn't matter." She didn't answer. Instead, she yanked a pillow and blanket from the shelf and shoved them into his arms. "Sleep in the guest room tonight." The door slammed behind her, leaving him standing there, stunned. That night he lay in the guest bed, staring at the ceiling. He understood why she was upset. Sophia's story was heartbreaking. Her ex had left her during her battle with illness. And this wedding was a celebration of her new beginning. Lila had been her rock through it all, but Ryan had responsibilities too. The next morning he packed his suitcase quietly, hoping to say goodbye before leaving. But when he knocked on their bedroom door, there was no answer. He pressed his forehead against the wood. "I love you. I'll call when I land." Silence. With a heavy heart, he left. The flight to Italy was long, and he tried calling her twice, but both times it went to voicemail. He texted her after landing, but still nothing. It wasn't until he met with his CEO that everything changed. "Sorry, Ryan," his boss said, clapping him on the shoulder. The other CEO had a family emergency, the meetings postponed. Relief and determination surged through him. If he left now, he could still make the wedding. Without hesitation, he booked the next flight home. The reception was in full swing when Ryan arrived. Music pulsed through the grand hall, laughter and clinking glasses filling the air. He grabbed a drink from the bar, scanning the crowd for Lila. Then he saw her. She was sitting at a table with David, her ex-husband. They were leaning close, her hand resting on his arm as she laughed at something he said. Ryan's stomach twisted. He watched as David stood, offering her his hand. She took it, letting him lead her to the dance floor. They moved together too comfortably, her body pressed against his as they swayed to the slow song. Then, without warning, David tilted her chin up and kissed her. Not a friendly peck. A deep, lingering kiss, and Lila didn't pull away. Ryan felt like he'd been punched in the gut. He pulled out his phone, zoomed in, and snapped a photo, then another dot. Then he sent her a message. "Guess what, sweetheart? My meeting got postponed. Looks like you're in good hands tonight. Don't bother coming home." He didn't wait for her reaction. He turned and walked out, ignoring her frantic calls as his phone began to ring. Asterisk, the reception hall was alive with music and laughter, but Ryan barely registered any of it. His grip tightened around the glass of bourbon he hadn't even sipped yet. His entire focus was locked onto Lila and David, her ex-husband. The man who had once shattered her heart, and now here they were. Her fingers tangled in his, her body swaying against his as if no time had passed. Ryan's chest burned. He had rushed back for her. He had wanted to surprise her, to make up for missing the ceremony. But now he was the one blindsided. His phone buzzed. Another message from Lila's father, Greg, asking where he was. He ignored it. Across the room, David leaned in, murmuring something in Leela's ear that made her laugh. Then, in a move that sent ice through Ryan's veins, David cupped her face and kissed her. Not a quick, friendly kiss. A slow, deliberate one. And Lila didn't pull away. His stomach twisted. He fumbled for his phone, hands steady, despite the storm inside him. He zoomed in, snapped a photo, then another. Then, before he could second-guess himself, he sent her a text. "Guess what, sweetheart? My meeting got postponed. Looks like you're in good hands tonight. Don't bother coming home." He didn't wait to see her reaction. He turned and walked out, the music fading behind him as he stepped into the cool night air. His phone buzzed almost instantly, her name flashing on the screen. He silenced it, then it rang again. And again, by the fifth call, he finally glanced at the screen. "Leela, Ryan, please. It's not what you think. Leela, let me explain, please. Leela, I'm sorry." His jaw clenched. He shoved the phone into his pocket and kept walking. Inside the venue, Leela's hands shook as she stared at Ryan's message. Her stomach dropped like a stone. He was here. She whirled around, scanning the crowd, but he was already gone. "Leela." David touched her arm, concern in his voice. "What's wrong?" She jerked away from him, her breath coming too fast. You kissed me?" He blinked, then smirked. "You kissed me back." Her face burned. She had. For one stupid, reckless moment, she had let herself forget. But now, reality crashed down. She grabbed her purse and bolted for the exit, ignoring David's confused call after her. Outside, she dialed Ryan again. Straight to voicemail, tears blurred. Her vision, as she ran to the parking lot, heels clicking against the pavement. But his car was already gone. The drive home, Ryan drove in silence, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. He should have seen this coming. David had always been a shadow in their marriage, the one Lila had loved before him, the one who had broken her. And now, the second Ryan wasn't there, she had run right back. His phone buzzed again. This time it was Greg. He hesitated, then answered. "Ryan," Greg said, his voice heavy. "Where are you?" "Leaving. Leela just called me in tears. She said you saw something. I saw enough." A pause, then carefully. "Come back. Talk to her." Ryan exhaled sharply. "No. Son, don't make a decision like this in anger." "It's not anger," Ryan said quietly. "It's self-respect." He hung up. The aftermath, by the time Ryan got home, his mind was made up. He walked into their bedroom, his bedroom no, and yanked open the closet. He grabbed a duffel bag and started throwing in clothes. His phone buzzed nonstop. "Lila, please."
Let me explain."
"Lila, I was drunk. I wasn't thinking." "Lila, I love you, not him." He didn't reply. Instead, he took one last look around the room. The framed photos of them on the dresser, the book she'd been reading on the nightstand, then walked out. He didn't slam the door. He just left. The hotel room was too quiet. Ryan sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, staring at his phone as it lit up with yet another call from Lila. He let it ring. He had driven for hours after leaving the wedding, his mind replaying the scene. On a loop, Leela, in David's arms, their lips locked like no time had passed, like Ryan had never existed. His thumb hovered over his photos, pulling up the evidence again. There they were, her hands tangled in David's hair, his palms sliding down her back. A knock at the door startled him. "Ryan?" Greg's voice, low and urgent. "Open up. We need to talk." He considered ignoring it. But Greg had always been fair. To him, with a sigh, he stood and opened the door. Greg looked exhausted, his salt-and-pepper hair disheveled, as if he'd rushed over. "She's a mess," he said without preamble. "She swears it didn't mean anything." Ryan scoffed, stepping aside to let him in. It looked like it meant plenty. "Listen, no, you listen." Ryan's voice cracked, raw. "I spent years building a life with her. The second I'm not there, she's back in his arms. That's not a mistake. It's a choice." Greg rubbed his temples. She had too much to drink. David took advantage. "Stop." Ryan held up his phone, the damning photo glowing between them. She kissed him back. Double quotes silence. Greg exhaled. What are you going to do? Ryan turned away, staring out the window at the city lights. I already did it. Lila's panic. Lila sat on the floor of their bedroom, her makeup streaked. Ryan's side of the closet half-empty. She had called everyone his friends, his sister, even their daughters, Eva and Claire, who were still at college.
Al?
No one had heard from him. Her phone buzzed. A notification from Facebook. Her stomach dropped. Ryan had changed his relationship status. Single, beneath it. 19 years. Guess some people never change. Attached were the photos. Her and David. Her hands flew to her mouth. Oh God. Comments. Flooded in friends, family, even co-workers. What happened? Is this for real? Lila, what did you do? She scrambled to call him again. Straight to voicemail. The ultimatum at 3 a.m. Ryan's hotel door burst open. Lila stood there, her dress wrinkled, eyes red-rimmed. We're talking? She choked out. He didn't move from the desk where he'd been drafting an email to his lawyer. Nothing left to say. You don't get to walk away without hearing me. Her voice broke. It was one kiss. One stupid, drunk mistake. He finally looked at her. Was it? She flinched at the ice in his tone. Because from where I was standing, he continued, it looked like you've been waiting for this. Not true? Then why him? Why David? He stood, his chair scraping back. The man who destroyed you? The one you swore you'd never forgive? She had no answer. He grabbed his keys. I'll be at the house tomorrow to get the rest of my things. Ryan, don't. He brushed past her. You made your choice. The fallout by morning, the entire town knew. Lila ignored the stares at the coffee shop, the whispers behind her back. She ignored David's texts we should talk about last night, deleting them without reading. But she couldn't ignore Ava's call. Mom, her daughter hissed, what the hell did you do to Dad? Lila closed her eyes. It's complicated. Not, he posted pictures, Mom. Everyone's seen them. Tear slipped down her cheek. I know. How could you? Ava's voice cracked. After everything David put you through, I know, Lila snapped, then instantly regretted it. I messed up, but I love your father. I just need him to listen. Silence, then quietly. Maybe he doesn't want to hear it. The call ended. Lila sank onto the couch, the weight of her choices crushing her because Eva was right. Ryan wasn't coming back. The law office was too bright, too sterile. Ryan sat across from his attorney, Mark, listening as the man outlined terms in a calm, clinical tone. Given the circumstances, infidelity documented with photographic evidence, you're in a strong position. We can push for an uncontested divorce. Favorable assets split. I don't want to punish her, Ryan interrupted, rubbing his temple. Just ... make it clean. Mark studied him. You're being remarkably civil for a man whose ex-wife, Ryan corrected sharply. A knock at the door. Mark's assistant peeked in. Sorry to interrupt, but Lila is here. She says it's urgent. Ryan's jaw tightened. Tell her, but the door pushed open anyway. Lila stood there, pale but composed, her once glossy hair pulled into a messy bun. She held a manila envelope. We need to talk. Alone. Mark looked to Ryan, who gave a curt nod. When they were alone, Lila dropped the envelope on the table. Open it. Inside, signed divorce papers. Her signature already inked at the bottom. Ryan froze. What is this? My surrender. Her voice wavered only slightly. Not fighting you. Take whatever you want the house. The savings, just ... She met his eyes. Tell me one thing. Was there ever a chance you'd forgive me? The air between them thickened. Ryan exhaled slowly. I thought about it. That first night I almost turned the car around. He tapped the papers. But then I realized if our roles were reversed, you'd have burned my world to the ground. Breath hitched. And that's the difference between us, he finished quietly. The other woman David cornered her at the grocery store. Lilowit. She spun, nearly dropping her basket. Are you following me now? He looked hurt. I just want to explain. Explain what? Her laugh was brittle. How you saw an opportunity when my marriage was vulnerable. Or how you've called me 6 times since the wedding like some pathetic you kissed me back, he hissed. Silence.a. Nearby shopper pretended not to eavesdrop. Lila's grip on the basket turned white-knuckled. I was drunk. I was angry at Ryan, but you? She stepped closer, voice dropping. You knew exactly what you were doing, and now I lost everything. She left him standing there, her heart pounding. The daughters Chews, Eva and Claire, sat across. From Leela at the cafe, their matching hazelies, Ryan's eyes full of quiet judgment. Dad says you're keeping the house, Claire said carefully. Leela stirred her tea. I don't want it, but he refused to take it. Eva crossed her arms. Because he's not the one who blew up our family. The words landed like a slap. Claire warned. No, she needs to hear this. Eva leaned forward. You knew what David did to you. You still chose him over Dad. It was one mistake. Was it, Eva challenged. Or was it the first time you got caught? Lila recoiled. Claire intervened. We're not picking sides, but we're staying with Dad for now. The finality in her tone broke Leela's heart. Ryan's new reality, the condo, was sparse just a bed, a couch, and a single framed photo of his daughters. On the nightstand, Ryan scrolled through real estate listings, then paused at a text from an unknown number. Heard about the divorce? Coffee sometime? Jenna from accounting? He deleted it. His phone rang Greg. Again, with a sigh, he answered. Have you seen the news? Greg sounded strained. What news? Turn on Channel 6. The local gossip segment flashed Leela's and David's wedding photos side by side, with Ryan's damning Facebook post. The Chiron read, Scorned hubby exposes cheating wife. Was it revenge? Ryan muted the TV. Jesus. Quieters called the house, Greg said quietly. Lila's not handling it well. A beat, then. She's your ex-wife, Ryan said flatly. Not my problem. Hung up. For the first time in weeks. He slept through the night. Lila's rock bottom. The wine bottle was half empty when the doorbell rang. Lila ignored it. It rang again. And again. She yanked the door open.
Water process server stood there. Papers from Ryan's attorney. You've been served.
She took the envelope numbly. Inside, a finalized divorce decree and a handwritten note. The house is yours. Consider it. My last gift. Or she slid down the doorframe, the papers scattering around her. Outside, a reporter's camera flashed. 6 months later, the autumn air was crisp as Ryan adjusted his tie in the mirror of his new downtown apartment. The space was modern, minimalist, nothing like the home he'd shared with Lila. His phone buzzed. A text from Claire. You sure you're ready for this? Smiled faintly and typed back. Been ready for months. Tonight was the company gala, his first public appearance since the divorce, and his first date since the marriage ended. Jenna from accounting had been patient. Surprisingly so, as he grabbed his keys, his gaze caught on the lone framed photo of Eva and Claire on his entryway table. They'd taken the divorce hard, but they'd stood by him. That was enough. Lila's isolation. Lila sat at the kitchen island. Of the too quiet house, scrolling through Ava's Instagram, a photo of Ryan at some charity event, looking devastatingly handsome in a tuxedo flanked by their daughters. And beside him, a pretty brunette, her hand resting lightly on his arm. The caption, proud of Dad tonight. New beginnings. Her finger hovered over the like button. She didn't press it. The doorbell rang. David stood on her porch holding a bottle of wine. I thought you could use company. She stared at him. Are you kidding me? I heard about Ryan. Dating, get out. Slammed the door, then leaned against it. Breathing hard, her phone buzzed a notification for Ryan's Facebook update. Against her better judgment, she opened it. A new profile picture. Ryan hiking with Jenna, both smiling. Status. Life has a funny way of working out. She threw her phone across the room. The gala, you clean up nice, CFO. Jenna grinned as she straightened. Ryan's tie. He caught her hand. You sure you're okay with all the whispers? She shrugged. Let them talk. You didn't do anything wrong. Across the ballroom, Leela's friend Mia gaped at them, then hurried off, no doubt to spread the news. Ryan exhaled. For the first time in months, the weight on his chest felt lighter. The final letter, Leela found the envelope taped to her door the next morning inside. Ryan's neat handwriting. Leela, I heard David came by. Don't go down that road again, you deserve better. The girls miss you. Call them, and for what it's worth, I hope you find happiness too. Arshay folded the note carefully, tears blurring her vision. Then she picked up her phone and dialed Ava's number. Epilogue. 1 year later at Ryan's wedding, Claire squeezed Leela's hand as Jenna walked down the aisle. You okay? Lila nodded, and meant it. She'd spent the year rebuilding therapy, reconnecting with her daughters, even a promotion at work. David had tried reaching out twice. She'd blocked him. As Ryan kissed his bride, Lila realized with quiet surprise she was happy for him and for herself.